Welcome to the Dr. Fantastic and Thunder Show. We've got a very special guest today, Lorcin O'Toole, the son of the late, great Peter O'Toole, one of my favorite actors of all time. Lorcin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much indeed. Buenas tardes from Mexico.
Yeah. So you are a soul maker, a channeler, a filmmaker, and hopefully a couple other things. Because I think the more things you do in life, the more you're happier you can be.
Absolutely, it's good to keep yourself occupied and be in service with creative gifts that we've been given.
I can't imagine doing the same thing every day for your life. That's one thing I can't imagine.
Certainly not, unless you really, really love that.
Well, I guess if it's something that you're extremely passionate about, but you know, these factory workers that put in this plug to that plug and this plug to that plug 8 hours a day, I mean, come on, are you kidding me? What kind of life is that?
Well, they said that one of the most important things in life is to do new things every day, to shift your patterns, to shift your routines, to do something different, unexpected. And what that does is actually opens up your life itself, because jumping in the same spot, there's a monotony to it, and the body doesn't like it, the mind doesn't like it. It's constricting, it's limiting. And so looking outside of the box and exploring new things in people's lives is a really beautiful way to expand everything.
You're going to be my new best friend. I've had 79 careers so far, and my wife tells me, and I am a total.
Thank you for your help.
I'm a total optimist, and my wife of 36 years says, "Don't tell people you've done that many gigs." And I said, "I think it's a wonderful thing."
Yeah, you're adaptable. Skills. It's not that you get fired very easily, which is one perception.
I'm looking for the next great challenge. I think life is too easy. Give me a challenge for Christ's sake.
I'm sure. Be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. So, as a soul maker, tell me about making souls or helping souls.
Filmmaker.
Oh, you said filmmaker. I thought you said soul maker.
Yeah, filmmaker. Soulmaker. Now, that's a fantastic job. I think on another level that we all have this ability, but I haven't figured out the technology to create souls quite yet, but I am working on it.
I was really looking forward to asking how you create souls.
Well, I go into a meditative state and I imagine the creation and birthing of this energy being in any different plane, and I just let it go and allow the universe to do its thing. Now, I don't know how to make films, I will be honest, but I do make films, and I like to make films about spirit, about energy, about the connection that we all have. And so filmmaking for me is an incredible tool, because like you said, you have many jobs. In film, it creates and combines all different mediums into one. So it's an incredible opportunity to use all forms of art, of music, of sound and writing, of nature and beauty to express them. And so it's a wonderful medium. My journey is very much about bringing awareness through my films to new understandings of reality, quantum understandings of reality, about time, about extraterrestrials, about their connection with the Earth, about the spirit of the Earth itself, about the organic living intelligence that the Earth is, and all of these different subjects.
Well, tell us about this last 4 years. You've been traveling a lot, making your last film. Am I correct? Tell us about it.
Yes. I've been making an independent film series all around the world, and I've been traveling to what people call Earth chakra or vortex or portal points all around the world, which are basically hyper-resonant or very high-frequency energy places, such as Mount Shasta, such as Machu Picchu, such as the Grand Canyon or Bali. And I've been traveling all around the world to these places and interviewing people who are living in these high-energy places or are just traveling there by synchronicity. And I've been interviewing people about extraordinary experiences that people have had. Anything from connecting with the spirits of people who have passed on from their family, to people who have had extraterrestrial contacts, to people who have had experiences of time bending and all manner of different things. These energy vortex points around the world are very important for human beings to visit. And there's the concept of light workers is something that's bandied around a lot in the world, is people who are working to help balance the light and the energy of the planet. And for light workers who feel connected to this idea, it's very important to go to these energy chakra points. Just our presence, being around them, is healing and rebalancing these chakra points. And it's essentially healing and rebalancing the system on Mother Earth simply by us spending our time in prayer, in meditation, with the intention of healing and uplifting. And being in these vortexes, that expands and sends out that energy to the rest of the world. So it's a very beautiful place to concentrate our energy.
I'm so jealous that you went to all those places.
Traveling can be challenging too, just as much as sitting in one place sometimes. But yes, it's very beautiful to go and meet all of these different people and races and genders, and recognize how similar the experiences sometimes people have in all walks of life, and how the cycles of life are the same for all of us, for the animals, the birds, the plants, the men and the women. And we all have so much in common, and many times we look at what is different about us as opposed to what connects us. And I think it can be really healing to see how much of a similar journey in the heart that we're all going through.
Well, you're a perfect person to have on the show because, as you know, or you should know, and the audience knows, this show is all about introducing people, technologies, and information to help improve your mind, your body, and the planet. And you're doing that by what you're doing, and I love that fact. And one of my philosophies as a motivational speaker is I really encourage people to travel, because no one really gets, and the majority of people really don't get how important every day is until they either traveled extensively, experienced death, either someone close by in the family or what have you, or hit 50 years old. And I got lucky, I guess, because I was orphaned at 9 and hitchhiked around the world at 17. And I really got to grasp real early how important every day is. And I'm on a mission now to tell everyone, enjoy today, because it may be your last. You know, there's a lot of philosophers that have said that. And I love when you're opening the mind, because recently we had a guest by the name of Augie Nost. And living to 100 to 200 or years more is possible today, but it's a combination of the mind, the right mindset, and the right treating your body in the proper way, you know, like not being acidic and what have you. And there's 2 Nobel Prize winners that have unlocked the secret to aging, which is a telomere that's in our body. And these telomeres, as we get older, unravel. And these guys won the Nobel Peace Prize from discovering how to keep it from unraveling, which is going to make you live for a hell of a long time. But here's the thing. Our channel is introducing things like that and people with knowledge like that. But the government doesn't want you to know this, because it's all about money. The whole society is geared around making money. We live in a very greedy, litigious, selfish society. We're on a mission to correct that by making people fantastic. I don't know if you know about our Be Fantastic movement yet, but you soon shall. Every day, Thunder and I have goals to, open people's eyes to how great life can be every day.
Absolutely. In every part, with all the ups and the downs, the pains and the sorrows, there's purpose in everything, and there's benevolence in everything. And I love that you said enjoy your life, because I think that the energy of joy and the energy of play is the energy that really connects us to the divinity that we are as well. The expression of divinity, of light, of energy, is one of playfulness, of light, of innocence, of love. And many people, when you talk about money, the ironic thing is your job as a healer is to be out of work. Your job as a healer is to be out of work, because once you've done your work properly, then people don't need to come back to you. Oh. And so the idea of people using money and making money off people's healing and keeping them on a cycle is not helping at all. And I think that the ironic thing about money, it comes into so many different situations in life. It can create sickness. It can create all sorts of different things, this energy of money. And the reason I say that is that many people are focused in their lives on accruing money, on accruing safety and security by their money, by their homes. And many times individuals are doing things that they do not love to do at all, that does not bring them them joy, does not make them feel the energy of play, to provide the idea of safety and security and rent and what have you. The irony is so many people are avoiding what they love to do, their God-given gifts, to assist others and do their own creativity. And they're avoiding this because they think that their God-given gift is not going to make them money. But the truth is that real abundance comes from recognizing the gifts that we have been given. And the gifts that we have been given is to do what we love, to create what we'd love to create, and to give that back to each other. I think that's what true value is, what true currency is. And I'm excited I'm actually making a project at the moment, which has an anonymous title, but it's there to assist other people in giving their gifts as a gift to other people. Because I believe sometimes we can do things for free, and we can do what we love, and the energy comes back to us.
Well, I started this Be Fantastic movement about 4 months ago, just because I heard it just needed to be done. It's all about being positive, and I believe in karma. And every once in a while, I get really reinforced on the belief of karma, because I started this Be Fantastic journey, and I've got 692 followers or believers that being positive is the attitude, and it's opened up so many other doors and enriching me in so many ways that I'm just thrilled. But I want to get back to the point of money. What I try to counsel people on is that a lot of people work so hard, that usually in the man's world, they work so hard to supply the money for the family that they don't realize that they're not in the family. The wife will divorce them, and the kids will hate them because they're so busy acquiring money instead of being there at dinner. I think the cure to the world's ills, one of the cures, is if families sat down for dinner every night. That would cure a lot, because you can't tell me there's a murderer out there today that sat down with his parents every night for dinner. And because time is love, and even if you don't talk and you're just being with your family, it's a family environment. It's just there's no engagement anymore. You know, everyone's on their little cell phones. They're just scattered. There's no communication or engagement. And I think through my teachings and my philosophies and my motivational speeches, people are getting it. They're getting how important it is to be fantastic, to be positive, to help others, to let people in traffic, to open doors for one another, to say thank you, to be kind. You know, I mean, it's a whole mission, and I'm thrilled that I'm able to share it through these conversations and through the 500 people I've interviewed on YouTube on my other show, Uplifting Interviews with Total Strangers. And it's just, I'm having a ball. I'm having the time of my life.
I can feel it. Loving kindness. It's the true essence of who we are. We can tell when we're not in loving kindness how much we're looking away from who we are. And you can look at people in France. Most people at least, have a tradition or a ritual, let's say, of the family getting together to have dinner with each other. And the family gets together, and the parents kiss the children, and everyone has manners, and they sit around and share this sacred food together. And people in France have this incredible health. Many of them are in very good shape. They smoke, they drink, they eat cheese and wine. But there's something about the community, the gathering, the family is healing. It's a healing container. And it's very sad that money can cause people to work so hard that they lose their family. Something's wrong there. I think that we have been trained for hundreds of thousands of years on the planet to have somewhat of a slave mentality, to fear that if we do not do something we don't want to do, that we will be punished. And I think it's in the collective mindset. And I think that the key to that is that money is about self-worth, I think, in a lot of ways for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The amount of money they have in their bank account is how much they love themselves, how much they value themselves. And the irony is that if we realize our true value is who we are already and what we have to give, and that we can do what we love, then there is no outside source. And then your energetic bank account is infinite. And we all share it, and we all are it. And I really think that's the cure. I think there's many people, different channelers and masters that have said that in 40 years or so, they see this the currency of the new Earth being synchronicity and also the gifts that we have to share with each other. So you have this instinct to go for a coffee one day, and you bump into somebody in the coffee shop, and you end up being your work partner for the next 10 years. And all you had to do was to go for a coffee because you love coffee. It can be that laughably easy and simple, I believe, sometimes. And when people can let go of this idea of trying to find their worth in money and realizing they already have it in the gifts they have. And that's something I'm very, very passionate about, because I see how money can get in between so many different people, relationships, friends, everything. And it's been almost created on the earth to create a form of division and limitation and scarcity when our account is really infinite as energy.
Well, I like your coffee shop analogy a bit. I believe that whenever humans cross paths, there's a connection there. But most people have blinders on, and they just walk past that connection. Someone will sit next to someone on an airplane for 8 hours and not say hello. I think it's just such a sad state. There's no engagement, And one of the things that when you start to be fantastic and you say you're fantastic rather than saying you're good or okay or well or fine or all right, is that it creates an engagement, because very few people on the planet are saying that they're fantastic. They may feel fantastic, but they're not sharing that. And when you say the word fantastic, it puts a smile on your face. It releases endorphins, dopamine, serotonin. And those neuromessenger units make you feel great, reduce the stress in your body. You live longer. But when you say you're fantastic to others, they smile. And so it's a karmic move by saying you're fantastic. I want you are fantastic, Lorcin, and I want you to say you're fantastic every time you're asked that lame question, how are you? It is a rhetorical question, and I can't change that question, and everyone asks that question to say hello, but I can change the answer, and that's what our mission is at this channel, is to change people's answer to that rhetorical question, how are you? And by the way, Lorcin, do you know where that question came from? It has a history. How are you?
How are you? I'm fantastic, Doctor.
Yeah, but the question...
I'm very fantastic. Also, I know that you're a fan of my father, and he made people laugh with the exact opposite. People would ask him, how are you? And he'd say, look at me, go, dreadful, thank you.
Well, that made them laugh at least, though. See, laughter is the best medicine.
It's another form of laughter, yet more on the macabre side.
Yeah, that's funny. He was a great character. But the question, how are you, came from the days of the Black Plague, when they wanted to know if you had the plague or not. So that's
interesting. Now, that is fantastic, because people I've noticed in society have a charge around being asked that question. People don't know how to answer it. It's confusing. It's awkward sometimes. And it's fascinating that you've linked it back to the bubonic plague.
Yeah, that's this history of it. I interviewed a doctor, and he told me that because it is a rhetorical question. No one cares. Maybe your mother cares, or your psychiatrist, but a total stranger certainly doesn't care how are you. Yet they say it. Now, by the way, Lorcin, do you know what the word fantastic means?
No.
It means unimaginably good. The first definition in the dictionary, and the second one is beautiful. So when I counsel people and I motivate them, I ask them, do you want to be good, okay, well, fine, all right, or fantastic? And I usually get the latter as the answer.
It's a no-brainer. It's funny how sometimes in life you ask people how they are and they'll say fine. And I know some people have defined the spelling of the word fine, F-I-N-E, to spell out freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you can hear when people say it, they have a tone like, I'm fine. But if you sound fantastic, then you can recognize that actually within your experience, even though it might be uncomfortable, there is perfection happening. There is fantastic things happening. There is growth. There is change. But no matter how uncomfortable it can feel.
The magic of the word, though, it's the only word, amazing, incredible, wonderful, none of those words put a smile on your face. It's the only word, fantastic, that forces you to smile. And it releases those very important neuromessaging chemicals in your brain to make you live longer and be happier.
Well, I'm smiling ear to ear at the moment, so whatever you're doing, it's working, which is fantastic.
It's my recipe. No, not my recipe. It's my prescription to the world to make it a better place.
Well, it's funny because you're talking about patterns. We all have these patterns of maybe not, I'm not fantastic, or I'm not worthy, or so what. And our mind gets the neural pathways start to get imprinted in a certain way where we start to feel and get used to the sensation. And then when the more you say, I'm fantastic, the more you actually that feels true. I actually feel that that's true. And your whole body starts to feel it. The cells of your body starts to feel it.
Yeah, I do. It's amazing. I do it every day. I have people say with great passion, I am fantastic. And when they do it, you just see them, their body change. Their whole demeanor changes. They say, I can't believe how I'm feeling. It's so transformational. It's amazing. People say, I haven't had my coffee yet. I go, I don't care. Say, I am fantastic with passion, and it blows their mind every single time. It's fantastic.
Well, it is fantastic, and I promise to spread this on to all that I may come across, so that we may, as a collective, remember we are fantastic.
And here's something that you may not know. Thanks to Thunder's donation of his technology, everyone who joins the movement, and there's 692 of us so far, my goal is to hit 1 million or more, and have 1 million fantastic people in the world. I've only met 44 so far out of 2,000. But when you join on our YouTube channel, Uplifting Interviews with Total Strangers, you send an email to us, and Thunder sends a EMF reducer. You know what an EMF is from your phone, right?
I certainly do, unfortunately.
Well, we're going to send you an EMF reducer with quantum physics and applied to it. And you just put it on your phone as wallpaper, and it eliminates like 90% or better of your EMF from your phone.
Thank you very much indeed.
And that's a gift to all our because it's a thank you for helping make the world a better place. Now, I'm not sure if you saw our logo, but it's a big bee, a big smiling bee with 2 thumbs up, and that symbolizes pollinating positivity. And if you might know that the bee population is dying because they are losing their way back to the hive because of EMF and cell towers and the cell phones. And Thunder says if we get enough people with our logo on their phone with the the physics, quantum mechanics applied to it, we can save the bees. So there's another answer, to what we're doing. That's kind of exciting. But I want to get back to channeling. I want you to explain channeling to the audience.
Channeling. Well, ultimately, the simplest way you could describe what channeling is, because some people have an idea that there's some alien or some angel or something that you're letting into your body and speaking through you. The truth is what channeling is creating a clear line of communication to what some people would refer to as the divine. You could also refer to that as the unified field or source energy or light. But channeling is opening up a clear line of communication to the divine. And the divine is actually yourself. It's who you are. It's the deepest truth of who we are is the divine, the one that is all things. And in channeling, the trick is to recognize who and what you are, which is everything and everyone in creation. By recognizing that, you're already opening up your energetic connection to that truth. Once you've established that there is not one person or William Shakespeare or Archangel Michael or whoever you wish, you are all connected to and are also at the same time those beings. So channeling is a way of getting your mind, your logical mind, and what you could call your ego, to be in a space of relaxation and receptivity so that you can connect to the whole of who you are and express from that place. So channeling for me is a service that all of us have the gift to do. It can come in the form of music, of singing, of dancing, of mathematics, of vocal channeling. come in so many different forms, and many people find themselves in a channeling state where they're in the zone, when they're doing something that they love and they're deeply involved, that they get into what people call an altered state. Now, some people talk about altered states with plant medicines and various different chemicals and things like that. But the truth is that altered states of consciousness is simply allowing yourself to raise your frequency to match higher echelons and levels of reality, from which you can then communicate from. So my experience of channeling, I was an actor in Hollywood, and I was doing films and television shows, and then I was contacted by what people refer to as interstellar being. And the interstellar being came and sat in front of me, and I could see it with my eyes and my third eye, and the energy and I started to merge together, and I started to feel rather interesting, like I felt like I had different presences behind my eyes, and I was feeling a little crazy. So I went to see a number of very well-respected mediums and channelers to find out what was happening, and all of them independently, without knowing each other or me, corroborated that I had been contacted by a future incarnation of my own soul, and that soul was what we would call interstellar being. I hesitate to use the word alien because it's very alienating, but this future incarnation contacted me and reminded me that I was a channeler, that I had this gift, and that I found out that it was a female, and that she was actually an expert, a scientist in time warping, which is the ability to what we call time travel or parallel reality shift into different timelines. And this was her work. And she reminded me that her work and her most important thing in her life was to remind beings of their own infinite nature, their own connectivity to spirit as spirit. And so my whole life changed dramatically, and I left Hollywood, and I began exploring a very, very different life and mission and calling to assist the earth itself, that some people refer to as Gaia or Pachamama, who have a recognition that it is a living, conscious being. And so my life changed in a very, very different direction to more of a selfless, serving life than trying to be, an actor or making money or all this stuff. And that all fell away and became very unimportant to me when I recognized that there were a lot of things going on the earth in many different ways that were so profound, and that human beings were having this awakening to all of these experiences. And what a joy and a pleasure and excitement it is to be of service in assisting the awakening of humanity.
Well, that's right up our line. I'm so happy you said that.
Right.
And I wish Thunder hadn't cut you off on the last webcast we did, because and hopefully you go back and listen to it, because without us solving this ELE that's upon us, all these great things that you're doing, and these, we're not going to be around to enjoy it. So I really encourage people to go to our other YouTube channel, which is Help Dr. Fantastic and Thunder Save the Planet. And it just started, and we have an ELE upon us, which is an eviction level event. And we're not joking about this. It's very serious, and we need people to get involved. And maybe you can help, because once you listen to the couple of these episodes that we're going to be recording, we're going to have Michael Horn on tomorrow, I believe. This is earth-shattering news. A lot of people don't know anything about Fukushima. What do you know about Fukushima? I hate to change subjects like this, but it's when I get started on something.
It's a very it's a complicated subject matter. It's not so much I want to say about it. I will be as subtle as I can. I believe that Fukushima is a very, very, very challenging situation, but I believe that it's not the only source, shall I say, of leaking.
Oh, of course not.
That's happening around the world.
It's just the biggest one right now.
I believe it's coming from many different angles.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agreed on that one. Yes, of course. And I think we're going to, on this new channel, address a lot of situations. And Stormy...
One thing I would like to say, I feel inspired to say right now about radiation and Fukushima. Every single time on the planet Earth when there has been a massive transition experience, which there has been many times, whether it's Atlantis or many, many different civilizations have had what has been known as a radioactive event. And this radioactive event is, when you see it from a multi-dimensional perspective, it's a lot more complex than meets the eye. We know stories of, from The Simpsons and other comic books where superheroes get born from radioactivity. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are born from radioactivity. And so there's some of us on the planet Earth who are choosing to integrate the radioactivity on some level, which is actually assisting in an expansion and a transition. And I will say, at the same time, for many others, they have chosen to physically take themselves out of the Earth plane because of the radioactivity. So it's a very complex situation. I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but yet something needs to be addressed and actioned upon for sure.
And I'd love to invite you to be part of the team that reaches out to, and I think one of the how you might be able to help once you grasp what our goal is here. I think the Hollywood community can be used in exposure to this problem. I met 15 people in the last 2 days because I'm on this mission now to solve this problem, and I don't care if they're 15 or they're 65, and they're all ages in between. They didn't know anything about Fukushima, and that to me is the biggest problem. And no one knows that we're experiencing ELE. And we need to, first and foremost, get the word out. Secondly, we need to solve the problem. And thirdly, we need to obviously fund the solution to fix it. But I think we need to get to some celebrities, if you could help with that. And once they know what's going on, they're going to want to be involved in the concerts that we're going to do and the events that we're going to hold to get notoriety to this earth-shattering catastrophe.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be honoured to be of service in any way that I can, and also to remind people that there are things going on in the world that are not very easy and challenging, but not to respond with fear to them.
Right.
That fear response itself could be even more damaging than the radioactivity itself.
Well, that's why the government's not telling anyone about it, because of panic. But you got to be at least, they say ignorance is bliss, right? Well, to a degree. I don't need to know that there's 22,000 murders today, and unfortunately the news, if it bleeds, it leads. But we do just need to educate ourselves on the saving the planet. Really, basically, that's the lowdown.
Well, absolutely. There's many things you don't want to sweep under the carpet in life, and at the same time, you don't want to pour gasoline onto a fire.
Correct.
And so it takes a lot of wisdom in the balancing of those situations and how to address them and go about them. But what I do suggest is that the solutions would hopefully come from a place of love, a place of seeing an opportunity and a gift. And I think that there's many of these things that are happening on the Earth, including Fukushima, including the waters and the pollution, that I believe is nudging us as humanity to find something very special within us as a solution, in our minds, in our hearts, in our energies, and in our vibrations. And I believe that we all have the ability to reprogram water with our energies and our intentions. So why would we not have an ability to somehow assist with other different kinds of pollutions? And the metaphors I have heard as well, interestingly enough, I don't know how it's going towards a solution, but I've heard that the degree of radioactivity on the planet is basically metaphorical for the amount of unprocessed emotions that's happening on humanity.
That's probably a truism. Do you know about the aspects of water that when there's music being played, they've actually looked at water under microscopes when bad things are happening and good things are happening? Have you seen those kind of?
Absolutely, I've studied it intensely. All of Dr. Hamota's work and other people's work with. It's clear. It's not mumbo jumbo. It's not prayers and asking God to change the water. It's you yourself. For example, if you have a leaf from a plant on a tree, you put one on one side of the table and one on the other side. If you send love and nurturing energy to the one on the left, it will stay green for an extremely long time, almost supernatural amount of time. And if you send abuse and fear and cruelty to the other leaf, it will turn brown very, very rapidly. And this is not mumbo jumbo, this is science. Energy is physicality. Vibration is what creates physicality. Sound vibration is what creates the material.
This is
and that's a
so true.
Very profound awakening that people are having.
And I've been counseling people about positivity. Positive thoughts manifest positive actions. Negative thoughts manifest negative actions. I try to encourage people not to think they're going to be late, not to think the project's not going to come out, not to think he or she's not going to call you. Those negative thoughts will manifest those actions. Be positive. And you watch what happens in your life. I mean, I feel like my life's been Forrest Gump because I always know everything's going to work out,
It always does. It always will. It always has.
I like that. You are a genius, my friend.
Just reflecting, my friends.
Well, that's what life is, isn't it? Like the monks that live in thought, right? That's what they're really basically doing, correct?
Yes.
It's what is reality? Oh, no, let me ask you something. Now that I have you on the phone here.
Yes.
I interviewed the other day. You heard of Tony Robbins?
Yes.
Okay, I interviewed his number one salesman for a short while, and I gave him the speech I gave you about being positive and being fantastic. And one of my backup lines is from the French poet, French philosopher René Descartes, and he said, "I think, therefore I am," and that's my mantra. And I truly believe if you think positive and if you think you're happy and you think you're successful, that's all that really matters because it's what you put in your head. He said that's a bunch of malarkey and it's laughable nowadays. I want to ask you your opinion on the saying, "I think, therefore I am."
What occurs to me quite strongly in the moment is, from my understanding of what's been passed on to me, we think that we're thinking one thought and then another thought and then another thought. The truth is that all of these thoughts are existing in an infinite warehouse. And we are choosing to focus the laser of our intention and our focus on any one of these different thoughts that are in this infinite warehouse. So we might think, why am I having these negative thoughts? Because let's not call them negative either, because there's a lot of judgment there. But if we're having these thoughts that are coming out of fear, coming out of lack, we are focusing on that area, on those thoughts, and more thoughts are joining that, more like a momentum. I think Abraham Hicks, the channeler, described angels and demons. An angel would be a conglomeration of positive thoughts that are coming together as a consciousness. And you could say a demon, though I don't like to use that word, would be a conglomeration of negative thoughts. So it's really where your focus is at, and it does take consistency. I think that your idea of the word fantastic, consistently, that's the energy that needs to happen. It needs to be a consistent work of reprogramming these patterns. But it's so beautiful to realize that all of the thoughts are available to you. Like, I'm loved. My life is fantastic. Everything that I need comes to me. I'm here. I'm happy. I'm alive. And those thoughts and feelings are just reinforcing and repatterning our minds. And as you've already experienced, and I've experienced, and many others, when you start to do this in your life, you open up yourself. And my film series is called Reflections, The Return of Light, because it's talking about the reflective nature of reality. And many times people will see something in their life, for example, they get fired or they lose their wallet, and they'll see that as a sign that something bad is going on, or that they're being punished, or life is always hard, when actually they've missed that if they lost their wallet, that's the reason they met the love of their life.
You know, that is beautiful put, because I look at the bright side of everything. I lose my wallet, I get a new wallet. That's the positive. I get a new driver's license. I get brand new credit cards. You've got to look at the positive in every negative, or what you might perceive as a negative situation.
Yes, it's such an important thing. Part of my mission is to remind people on Earth of the light that is already in what they term the darkness. Because we live in a trinity, we don't live in a duality. That's an old, outdated understanding. There is light in the darkness and there's darkness in the light. And when you can see that even people like Hitler when you lose your wallet, all these different influences that are common on the earth have a gift within them. And if you see that, then you see the benevolence that's in the darkness. You can have a car accident. I have many friends I've interviewed who've had life-changing car accidents. They've broken every bone in their body, and it gave them the biggest gift they could ever have. Sometimes people get sick, they get cancer, and they learn how to heal themselves, how to love themselves. And they see that the cancer cells in their body are just lighting up to remind themselves to love themselves. And it's not something that needs to be fixed, it needs to be changed, it needs to be burned. It's something that needs to be appreciated as the gift that you've given to yourself for healing and love. And when you see that, you start to have the same perspective of everything that the universal oneness has, which is pride and benevolence in all of its parts, all of its actions. The Mother Earth is not cruel because she has volcanoes and earthquake and lightning. It doesn't mean that she's resentful. It's a beautiful part of nature, of balancing, of a volcano erupts and ash goes everywhere around it that's highly mineralized, which makes all of the plants grow. And when we burn fire around a log around a fire, we're destroying something, but yet we're gaining warmth and health from the destruction. So learning to see the creation that's in the destruction is one of the most healing things that can happen. And sometimes you can have an illness and you see the purpose of it. It doesn't have to stay around anymore.
People who lose their limbs are sometimes the happiest people afterwards because the mind rewards them. They go into the Paralympics. They do things they've never done. They get out of the house. It's an amazing. The mind compensates for so many things physically that it's mind-boggling.
Oh, it feels really good to share that understanding with somebody else, because a lot of people are just warming up to that, and it's such a wonderful thing because then there's nothing to fear anymore. If you realize that everything in your life is coming to you for healing, for balance, for help, no matter what it is, then what is there to be afraid of? If even fear itself is on your side.
Well, I think I've cured anxiety to a lot of people because anxiety is the fear of the unknown, in my opinion. And what is the fear? What is to fear? I have not had an ounce of fear in my life. I want to take on the largest, most challenging things I could imagine because I have no fear. I've never had fear. I don't know how to spell the word.
Beautiful.
Life is beautiful.
People say that anxiety is fear of the unknown, and the ironic thing is that the unknown is the dark mystery, the dark feminine, the unknown. So for me, the unknown is like falling in love with the most incredible, mysterious, beautiful woman.
Exactly.
And that beautiful woman is waiting to give me a kiss and not to kick me in the shins.
I just love talking to you. This is fantastic. I mean, it really is. To hear, I love when I meet people that say my words, and it comes out of their lips. It makes me so happy to know that there's other people out there thinking the way I think, and you and I need to tell more people to think this way.
Brother, I think it's spreading like wildfire.
So you need to give us, the listening audience, your website if you like, or your Facebook, or however you're reaching out to help people.
I don't have a website officially, but I do have an official Lorcin Toole fan page on Facebook, Lorcin1111. If you'd like to join it, I don't oversee it, but if you'd like to post and get in touch, some of my associates could get back to you.
Lorcin1111.
That's correct.
That's a lot of ones. I'm Lester.
Just enough.
That's great. It's really been a pleasure having you on. Hopefully we can have you on again. And I think...
fantastic.
Well, I'm just trying to make the world a better place 2 smiles at a time. One of the things I say that
Indeed.
When you start saying fantastic, Lorcin, and you can make one person smile today, you've made the world a better place. And if you can make 10 people smile today, you've done great, and you've done even better. And if you can make more than 10 people smile today, like I do every day, it's fantastic.
Beautiful and fantastic. So best of luck with all that you're doing, and it would be my honor to come back on your show anytime.
Now let's have a word from Thunder. Thunder, you have 1 minute to chime in here.
Hey, I've just been enjoying, as always, Lorcan's speech is so elegant, fun to listen to. He sees very well into the future, so he's a good asset.
Thank you, dear Thunder. It's such a pleasure to be connected back with you, my brother, and all the wonderful work that you do for the Earth and for humanity. And we see you, we recognize you, and thank you for it all.
Well, guys, it's been a great 45 minutes, and I hope you can share this with your loved ones and strangers alike. Guys, we'll be talking soon. And everybody, be fantastic, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.